Hi, good evening. Welcome to Author's Talk by Trishna. Let's dwell in some real life ghost stories. This book, written by Anita Krishan, Ghost of the Silent Hills, a story based on true hauntings. Do ghosts really exist? There are endless unsolved mysteries surrounding us. Do aliens exist? Have they been visiting our Earth? Does the Yeti wander on the lofty Himalayas? What is the secret of the Bermuda Triangle? What happens to a life force, the spirit, after we die? Can it be reborn? Do ghosts exist? The puzzles have remained despite remarkable and consistent scientific discoveries. Perhaps Albert Einstein proposed a scientific basis for the existence of ghosts. His first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but only changes form. Then what happens to our body's energy when we die? Could that somehow manifest itself into wandering spirits that many people claim to have encountered? We want to believe because we want to connect to the great force beyond, want to believe that we originated from the go after life to that highest spirit of God. The idea of drifting souls of the dead is an ancient one. Many cultures around the world believe in paranormal. The Hindu religion conceives the existence of another realm, away from our earthly plane, that is inhabited by the spirits of the dead waiting to be reborn. These are the bioelectric energies that can't be destroyed. In simple terms, a spirit is indestructible after a body dies, and it reincarnates. It is also believed that all spirits not born, some according to their karma, go to the higher level, closer to the Paramatman of the Brahma, the supreme spirit of God. These spirits have attained moksha, liberation from the cycles of births and deaths. Rebirth or reincarnation is a commonly accepted concept of many religions. Ghostly spirits that people claim to encounter are believed to be the spirits that for some reason fail to reach their realm and continue to drift on the earthly plane, perhaps because of their attachment to the loved ones or seeking to complete the unfulfilled task from their previous lives. The concept of ghosts and ghouls has appeared in countless stories in Shakespeare's, Charles Dickens, Ruskin Bonds, Rudyard Kipling's, Stephen King's, just to mention a few. The ghosts of the dead British gentlemen or ladies make repeated mention in most of the supernatural tales of Shimla. Many claim to have seen the famous apparition of four headless pullers hauling a rickshaw on which sits a headless lady in a Victorian outfit in an area between the Mall Road and Chota Shimla, locally known as Chudail Baudi. Tunnel number 33 and 103 on the Kalka Shimla rail track, two are claimed to be spooky places. People not only avoid entering them alone after dark, but even during the daytime. Charleville Mansion has its claim of being the most eerie building in the town. It's believed to be haunted by a British gentleman who lived and died in this house. In 1973, when I was a final year of college, two of my classmates who lived below the Longwood Hill began to miss their last class every day, for they were scared to walk home after sunset. Allegedly, often at the twilight hour, on a particular stretch of that lonely road, a gentleman in a top coat and had accosted people and asked for a matchstick to light a cigarette, and then he will disappear even before one could blink his eyes. One place rife with the supernatural tales that my family claimed to have experienced is a renowned building in the suburbs of Shimla town. Currently a very popular five-star hotel, Wildflower Hall. This building was constructed in the 19th century during the British rule on the Indian subcontinent, when Shimla acquired importance for being the summer capital of the country. Lord Kitchener, Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Armed Forces, who owned this historic edifice, sold the property to Mr. Robert Hortz in 1909. When he left for England, Mrs. Hortz, a highly enterprising woman, renovated this elegant structure, nestled in a lap of a pristine fir and cedar forest, and converted it into a luxury hotel. This building thus became an exclusive summer weekend haunt of the white officials and the rich. Over the weekends, horse, buggies, rudimentary motorized vehicles of the era would abound the grounds of the building as the British couples or loners reached here for revelling. The desolate dwelling then suddenly acquired hustle-bustle. The waltz, music, and laughter would resound in the otherwise completely hushed environs. The denizens of the forest would become mute witnesses to the clattering noises of the table being laid with food and wine. The aromas exuding from the kitchen would overpower the natural fragrances of the forest. There were, of course, shady activities going on too. It was said the bell would ring in the morning for the pious to prayer and for the impious to return to their beds. With summers bidding goodbye for yet another year, the place would once again fall silent. The forest would briefly be returned its original peace and the native staff some reprieve. After India attained independence in 1947, the building became the property of the Government of India. After more than a century of slavery, the emancipated Indians had no time for amusement, for which the building had been in the use for a long time. They had a tough task ahead of them: rebuilding the country. Being an agricultural economy, then lacking any major industry, including hospitality, this edifice was handed over to the Himachal Pradesh government to run an agricultural school. The merrymaking was now replaced by serious lectures on modern agricultural practices. The building remained under the Department of Agriculture for the next 25 years till it was taken over by the Department of Tourism and converted into a hotel once again. It remained so till 1993, when a massive fire razed the original structure to the ground. A few stories of the encounters with the supernatural in this book are set here in Wildflower Hall during the period it was an agricultural school. Who doesn't remember the spooky stories told by old aunts and college friends in candle-lit dark rooms? Such stories are more chilling when they come from real experiences and real encounters with things that exist in the deepest fears of our dreams. Having been born and brought up on the mountains, where the nightfall ushers a haunting hush over the landscape, initiating a strange fear of the dark silence. I too grew up listening to scores of ghost stories. Living in an isolated area of the town, all rippling, undulating shadows in the fading light of the evening would appear ghostly. Sometimes even I wonder, are the supernatural reports really based on true happenings which are beyond scientific explanation? Or are they fabulous imagination of over-fertile minds? Are they possibly nothing but hallucination that were triggered by the extreme anxiety or fear as explicated by the scientist? These questions will remain so until the science cracks the enigmatic. My journey as I put together this book took me through my life in the silent hills, through those dark, dark nights, lonely British-era buildings, to the apartments and the life in the cities where one would least expect to find spooky things looming in the dark recesses. These stories come from the supernatural experiences that were shared by real people. I have only taken the writer's liberty to add flourishes for the right impact. One question I repeatedly asked myself while writing these stories was, do I believe in the existence of ghosts? I finally came to the conclusion that I believe despite not wanting to, though I am doubtful if I accept them indisputably, for these are not my personal experiences. Neither do I have any direct evidence in support of these paranormal manifestations. But at the time when they transpire, just out of the blue, who is prepared to record them for the evidence? Dear reader, to categorically accept the ghost stories you are going to read the following pages rest on your discretion. These tales are to be read simply to experience the thrill of chill run down your spine. After all, who doesn't love a good ghost story? Stay tuned for the first episode. Thank you so much.